Good evening. Welcome to the Wednesday live video. And right now we are in this mode here, which is we will be talking something which already happened, I suppose, on hindsight, what it is. So tonight, I'd like to welcome all of you to our live Facebook. This is your host, Mr. Martin Wong in here. And tonight we will be talking about the growth potential on construction and property sectors. All right. Now, I think many of you would have known the construction and property sectors has since November, December, the last 2 months has really moved out. And there were many questions being posed to me and really asking how much or how high can the property sector as well as the construction sector can go. So tonight we'll do a deep dive into this sector in here by looking some of the potential stocks on hand, as well looking at the fundamental, as well as using the VSA 360 tools to see the kind of opportunity we are looking at. And of course, for our regular members who do come in every Wednesday supporting myself, and some of you may have attended as a follow-up from our Tuesday CPE course that we did one, and I think you all probably got your 10-point CPE course from the SIDC professional course in here. So we'll be looking at the construction and property sectors, which what I have promised on Tuesday in here. So let me know, give me a thumbs up, and to see that that you guys are appreciating some of the work that I'm doing here. And let's take a look at tonight. What are the things we will be talking about? And we want to be looking at the economy and facts that is behind what we have right now, which is the construction. Okay, importantly to understand, what is really driving this market. Now we talk about Malaysian Madani government and being what we call cost control, or are they in a period of really spending money and booming? If the government is a bit cost conscious and looking at every cost, then we might not see the construction or the property sector moving up. So we want to be looking at that, what kind of project is currently in the pipeline and how is it being affected in here. All right. Then we also take a look at some of the value stock, whether this is a value stock or this is a growth stock, which really underpin what we've been talking also on the Tuesday CPE courses. And I want to put up especially the maturity of our audience to know both technicals and fundamentals of the company, and so that they really know what they are looking and buying up on the construction and property sector in here. And if you are the familiar members, do share and let me know that I have friends, familiar faces. Usually people who come in and listen, they don't say anything, don't do anything, and I do hope that I do get some sort of feedback from you all saying that you enjoy this, and at least that will be a very encouraging step for me to go forward and really put into a good presentation for you to learn something. And then where are these value construction and property sector in the KLSE? I will be looking at some of them too, and followed by a summary in here. All right. Thank you for coming in here, and do share this video in your timeline. Now, one person I want to talk about when it comes to growth and talk is Peter Lynch. Now, how many of you have heard of him? If you have heard of him, just type Peter Lynch. At least I know I'm getting some sort of audience in who knows this gentleman in here, which have always been part of the great teacher, and following his work, I certainly have made a lot of money from the stock market, and I hope some of the students who've been following me over the years did impact from it. And one of the quotes that really struck me, and I said before, the real key to making money in the stock market is not to get scared. That's right. Now, a lot of people got scared, and this is also turning their attention going back to year 2022 and 2021, where the rubber glove industry and a lot of people got hurt on that time. It's been almost 2 years now, and this time many people are saying, is it going to be something like a rubber glove, where we see the construction and property stocks started to make big move based on what we've seen so far here. So construction, property, right? But I do believe going forward, it's important to understand the background. And let me be clear, at least in this presentation, what we are trying to do is share with you with the facts that is out there. That's why we call it the economics and facts behind the construction and property sector, so you are aware, all right, of them and really look into the sign of strength, sign of weakness, to know the entry model, what kind of stocks and setup that you want to go in and how you want to go from there. Definitely, again, a gentle reminder, the year of the Chinese zodiac, the year of the dragon, is a very, very good year. So as I said before, if you are not in the market, not making money right now, definitely you will need some sort of a booster, perhaps joining our software and learning some of the tools that we have. And also thank you again for your thumbs up there, and also reach out to us. There's a number in there, and sharing with you that I did make money, I did not make money, and enjoy some of the work that Martin produces in here, and how we can be part of the Trade VSA community in here. Now, if you look back on the VSA 360, which is the premium products of what we have in the VSA 360, and again, we use this presentation as an avenue to share with you some of the work that we have done and how you can also benefit like many of our members that have done so. So you can see from the KLCI here, year 2024 is one of the highest year-to-date return, and right now we are almost 7%. We are still got many months to go, right? So as such, I'm starting to turn bearish. Okay, I'm starting to turn bearish because of the January and February month that have already turned 7%. So we will come to March and April where the market will likely to correct. And we do have that correction already, which I'll share with you shortly in the next 1 or 2 slides. This evening closing at 5 p.m. we have almost a 13 points drop on the KLCI. That's also telling you some sort of profit taking is already on the way, which I've already said or earlier and earlier again. And one of the reasons why is that the market cannot go up in a straight line, right? And you can see some of the target for the KLCI is 1545, which is already there. We are at the 15. Let me just take a look on the market at 1530, 1540. Then a high is 1755 from CGS, which I think is a bit over the top, but averaging everyone is around 162. And by adding all the targets in here, that's about 11% return. Now, if it's 11% return, then we are definitely looking into a higher KLCI than where we are. So in between, where are the nuances where the market will move sideways or moving up? All right, so let's take a look at this one in here. Now, if you look in the KLCI side, all right, first thing what we are seeing, right, again, as I said before, we did have a 35 bars, and generally the market won't go that much, right? Usually when you get 35 bars, 40 bars, the market will start to turn down. So when you started to turn down, you can see red pentagon right now. Now you are seeing a 2-bar reversal, which is a sign of weakness. 2-bar reversal is a sign of weakness. Red pentagon is in here. Market will start to tank and go lower from here. All right. No doubt we have a support at 1530, but usually when you see a red pentagon, market generally is ready to move downwards. Okay, ready to move downwards, and that is likely to align with the US market, who already started correcting the situation that we see in here. So far, what do you think? Right, those of you who are watching tonight in here, do you think that our KLCI will go higher, or right now we are seeing a correction? Let me know, put it in the comments in here, so we have a very vibrant talk in here. And as such, don't be overly bullish going forward. You hear it first from me here, Martin. As I said before, the market has gone up by 35 bars, and it's time for a correction. Okay, you hear it first, and Red Pentagon has never been so right so many times. Now from our KLCI side, hasn't turned Red Pentagon, as I said before. That's why we always show the KLSI futures. And then, oh, good evening, James. Thank you, James. Good of you, James, and to make a comment in here. I know I have some friends. And also on the KLCI chart, all right, the KLCI chart, where we are seeing right now the market been moving up, and we also have the 2-bar reversal. All right, the 2-bar reversal, right, we are seeing now is actually a stage 3 distribution, right? As we see the stage 3 distribution in here started to move sideways, we want to wait what is the next stage. So we are likely to experience sign of weakness in the next 2 to 3 bars, but we do have support at 1530 in here, sideways market, and a follow through to the downside. We already seen the KLCI futures, which is the big brother, already turned Red Pentagon. So the cash index in this case is the KLCI will turn very soon. All right, so if you have not taken any profit, please do take profit, follow your trading plan. If you don't have one, join our premium membership and be assisted by our supervised coaching and see how well our student and also our members have performed in there. And definitely one of them is with you tonight, James Chu in here. Very good students, been around with me. Really appreciate your support, and seems to be doing all the right thing with VSA 360 in here. Now, if you look in terms of the foreign funds inflows, we have consecutive of 10 days as shown in the VSA 360, which is also one of our flagship product in here. And we did have one correction, okay, one correction which is on 2 days ago. Other than that, it's been very nicely moving up. So here is very likely we're going to go forward the next couple of days is to see if you do have a big sell-off. I think tomorrow you'll probably see a red down bar here, a red down bar signifying a foreign outfund. Well, foreign outflows. So with the foreign outflows that you see, many times we will see market that started to tender, but we don't need to know that, right? We already have Red Pentagon informing that the market is going to be turning very soon. Now, of course, looking into the construction sector and the property sector, two bullish news in the making previously. Now, this started back in November. Let me just show you in here. This was in November 30th of 2023, and we already saw the month of December market started. Now, keep in view, this is the beginning of the December month, right? And then we have another follow-through news. So what is really happening is that we have a slew of good news coming out that really prompted the market to go up. Then we also have this ever lovely KL to Singapore high-speed railway, which, you know, on and on, they keep coming up in here. So what is really, you know, driving this market in here? And this is the important part. Now, of course, you can't see the bottom just of my head, so I'll just move it to a side. But it's very important. These are the so-called big numbers, the big facts that really drive this market in here. If you tally up, that's a lot of money in here. But of course, this will spend over some time before, not just on 2024. Some of this started, for example, the MRT3, right? The project was around 45 billion. Right, now previously for 68, and that was in 2018. Then you have the Sabah-Sarawak Road Phase 2, 7.4 billion here. Then you have the North-South Expansion Way from Sendenak to Simpang Regam, from 4 lanes to 6 lanes, 931 million. You have the LRT3 Revival, which is a 4.7 million. East Coast Highway, which is part of ECER Master Plan, a $7 billion project to develop the East Coast. The West Coast Expressway from Perak to Banting, $5 billion in here. ECRL, that's a project that's been ongoing from Kelantan to Port Klang, 55 billion. Then you have the Central Spine Road. Never heard of that one before, right? Central Spine Road. When I was doing this research, I only hear of the central spine. I thought it's like my backbone. So this is from connecting from Kelantan to Pahang, and the Bursa at $7 billion, right? And then you have the RTS, the Johor Singapore connecting woodland, right? Estimate at 4 billion. So if we add all these things up, that's a lot of money. We're talking something like $42 billion project. Billion, okay, yet to be announced. And some of these projects, the construction company of going out. So important to note the facts. So once you know the fact, you like what Peter Lynch say, right? Don't be scared to get into the market if you like construction, right? Then of course we also have the BLLRT, which is the Penang LRT project. We have the Penn Borneo Highway Phase 1. There's no value been specific. Phase 1, phase A1 and AB. Then also the network infrastructure, which is the 5G. It's still constructing tower. That's why you see OCK, right? Been moving up. And then the flood mitigation project, which is all over the Malaysia. You can see the climate change has caused many of the flooding in the area, especially if you're in Klang Valley. You would have noticed the big change out in here. So this is a very important chart telling you the kind of project that is out. You can take a picture of it in here and probably just move sideways. Yep, you can take it now, and then you can use it for your future reference in here. Now remember, these are generally good news. Okay, so when it comes to good news, we have to be very, very careful, right? Good news, smart money would use this pretense to distribute, which is what we are seeing right now in the market, right? In the KLSE market been making up in January and in February, those information that I shared with you in here. And then finally it started to tank, and that's where we are today. So because of that, again, Peter Lynch, one of the great motivator in terms of getting you back into the market, and it has been for me, right? My diary is full of many missed opportunity, but the stock market is merciful. It always gives you nincompoop. Nincompoop means yourself lah. A second chance. Okay, so that means what the data that I share with you here, but you still need to approach the market from a trading standpoint. So you just wait for me to watch towards the end there, then we will probably share with you some possible entry and summary of this in here. And of course, you definitely get more when you join our premium membership, where you'll be supervised in many of our training and coaching how to do much better in this market in here. Now, of course, the optimistic outlook for the construction sector still continue as we've seen many of this kind of opportunity coming up here. So since December, now remember, right, the first time when the news came out on the optimistic, right, that was in 30th of November, right? I remember I asked you the news to look at it. So if you see the construction, right, compared to the KLCI, which is up 6%, right? Not too bad, right? Compared to technology, really hardly move, whereas US technology sudah jalan. We see that construction since November, 30th of November here, okay, market has moved up, but it stays stagnant after January, hasn't moved much. So this was a big move in the first week of January, and that's what usually smart money does. You know, once they get some sort of a takeoff, they'll take off very fast, and from here onwards, it may look like a distribution stage, right? Like what we saw, remember, last Wednesday on the rubber glove stocks. So if you have not watched the rubber glove stock talk, make sure you watch it, and you will see many of the stock move ahead, okay? 10 months ahead, 9 months ahead of before the news of the earnings, if that when she comes out. What is saying? Say, well, no, you got to trade on rumors, and when the fact is there, you got to be selling. So right now, you need to be very, very careful as the market continue to distribute. Same thing also go for construction, which gives 8.3% since November, right? Again, judging from the question in here. And whereas technology is pretty much sideways for some time, KLCI is just a combination of construction, property, finance, technology, and so forth. But you get the picture, right? So here onwards, construction has already priced in a lot of those news and priced in a lot of the facts that I've just talked about in here. So the question is, will the sustainability of the construction project roll over to 2025 and 2026. And if it does do that, you can see construction really performing well. Else it could just be a flash in the pan and the market just move up and then started to trend sideways like what we are seeing in January, February and March. Okay, but no doubt since the news that it first came out, it is up almost 14%. Now let's take a look at the green pentagon in here. So we can see construction, that news came out on the 30th, okay, of November. But in our VSA 360, you could see on 10 of what? 10 of 2023 already turned green pentagon. That is how responsive the green pentagon is. But right now we have red pentagon, okay, did try to make another higher mark here. From here started to move sideways, but only to distribute red pentagon comes out. So right now we have to be very careful what we see right now. Red pentagon not so good. KLCI also red pentagon. So if you feel that you are an advanced VSA trader, maybe you can buy some sort of support in here. But those of you who came on Tuesday, remember we talk about the market stages. What does this look like to you? Right, it definitely looked like a stage 3 distribution, right? No doubt if you are not familiar with the market stages, the red pentagon that you see here will tell you that this market has higher probability of going lower, right? And this is one of the great powers of the VSA 360 enabling in here. And also looking into one good example of the property sectors, right, which is Matrix concept, which is one of the finest, as I said before. In the Tuesday CPE, we will talk about many case study and concepts. Matrix came out in here similar to the another technology stocks I was talking about, but I will keep that as a bonus for those of you who came on Tuesday in here. So you can see from here, very similar. 10th of December goes straight up and then turn red pentagon. You got 1, 2, now you have a triple top, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, this is 2, so that's a triple top. It is still a red pentagon in here. It does look like a distribution, but we have to wait whether it can break higher from here onwards or just continue to go down in here. Now having said that, for the month of March and April, since we have a January and February, a very good month, January they will trend back downwards and we'll probably get a sideways kind of market in. Now how many of you agreed with me? If you agreed with me what my assessment based on the line changes, give me a thumbs up in here, so at least I do know some of you are actually listening while you're driving or having dinner in here, and see this as a educational entertainment that I do every Wednesday free of charge. But from time to time, do come and support me, use the SMARTRobie, or at least join our premium membership for the period that we have. Try it out. I do think that you will be very beneficial from it. Now also the differentiation between the stocks, okay, stock differentiation is important. We want to see the stocks is value or is growth. Okay, now that's very important. So when you buy this stock, if it's a growth stock, then there is an anticipation that you only want to pay fair to over value if it's a growth stock. All right, so that means there is some indicator that we use in the FA. Okay, the target will be this high potential and capital gain and growth. Now if this is a value stock, right, having said that, construction and property generally are considered as value stock, so you want to buy them when the company are in distress, not so much of a growth in here. But because of the big project dish out that I've shared with you early on, the billions and billions of dollars in the road construction, in the railway construction, in the flood mitigation construction, right? Check out that list I've shared with you early on. So some of these can be rolled over under a growth stock, where if it is a growth stock, so some of the price already move ahead and they become overvalued. So let's take a look at the construction and property sector that we have both in here. Due to the time that we have, I'm not able to finish some of it. Of course, you can get it on our VSA 360 and be a member of our VSA 360 that you will see very beneficial to you. One of the indicators I will continue to talk about it as also part of the references and training for our members, where we started on the US market was using PEG ratio, right? Where we look at the share price divided by the earnings per share, but it is very difficult to do projection for the EPS growth rate, right? Now, how to calculate EPS growth rate? We can do that in the past, but in the future, it is still pretty much a human estimation. This could be the CEO of the company or analyst, and generally they tend to sway out very far away in here. So that's why we want to use the quarterly earnings and the yearly earnings, and then from then onwards only do a projection from there. So you can see from here, if you have a 2008 to 2009, this is a 50% growth, right? From 323 to 215. So the PE is 27 times divided by growth. That gives you a 0.54. Now a slower company, you can see $45 from 811 to 865. That is only a 6.7% growth. But the PE is 5.6. That will give you a 0.84. So the key thing is to pick PEG ratio that is below 1. All right, I can't emphasize this more, especially for our members who've been coming in here. Good evening, Cam Camilla. Thank you for recommending to your friends. So this is where we want to see the growth, year-to-year growth is manageable. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you can see, this is a 20% growth. That's wonderful. Means this is growing very well. But keep in mind the EPS earning growth. You can do 10% at the PE or 10 times, that is a PEG of 1, right? Because growth PE divided by PEG, okay, PE divided by EPS, you get 1. So 10 divided by 10, you get 1. 9 divided by 11, you get 0.82. 8.33 divided by 12, you get 0.69. 7.69 divided by 13, you get 0.59. But you get the point, right? So this is what we are trying to do. And you want to make sure all the PEGs are below 1. If it's above 1, then we know it is overvalued, and you may want to think about it before you want to get that stop. So again, using VSA 360, from then onwards, we look at the constructions sector and player in here. Now, it's also important for our members, make sure you key in minus 0.1 and minus 5 to ensure you pick those very strong stage 2 share. Good evening, Nora. Thank you for coming. All right. So that's where we want to be and put some of these shares over there. So the first one is Gamuda. We have IJM, Econ Berhad, Sunway, WCHB. So like it or not, this will represent some sort of a beauty contest, like what we said on Tuesday CPE course, right? So we need to iron out what are the good things and what are not so good things. So the first one we will look at is Gamuda. All right, so Gamuda, you can use this on the trading view in here. So I'll just bring up my trading view. I'm going to share with them how it looks like too. All right, so let me just bring this up here. So I'm going to go on to my quarterly earnings. So first one we have is Gamuda. All right, so you can see from Gamuda, and then next one we have is IJM. So you look at Gamuda, what we're trying to do here is to see, no doubt Gamuda has gone up a lot already, okay? From the time frame that we are talking about, okay? This is a weekly chart. Maybe I'll switch to a daily chart. You get the better visibility there because maybe weekly chart better because we want to see the quarterly. So the market started to move from November, okay? So you can see this is August. So November onwards, Gamuda, okay, this is 30th of November, right? There was a time, yeah, here. So 30th of November, yeah, here. So from here onwards, okay, to here, it actually moved 15%, which is quite a lot. So what we are looking here is the trend. Now, if you look back, before pre-COVID was around 28 cents, 21 cents, okay? And of course, during COVID, business dropped, everything dropped. But when it did a good recovery back in, let me just bring this up again, to 54%. That's around 23 cents. Then 2020 was good one, 31 cents. 2023 was 32 cents. So based on this, right, if you think the market can go another 30% from where we are, right, then maybe it's justifiable. Again, this is a lot of human forecasting in here, right? You can see that over the years, the increment on the quarterly is just ngam-ngam saja. Ngam-ngam saja. So here, if you say that you can go 36%, 54%, let's go on the shorter side and bring out my calculator here, right? So you can see 0.3272 times 1.3, then you're talking about, right, 42 cents. So 42 cents is 42 cents, okay? So 42 cents achievable or not? You can see you have never hit 42 cents before. So if it does hit 42 cents, it's all-time high lah. After all, Gamuda is all-time high also, first time. So what do you think, right? Is it possible? So if it does go back by 20%, right, on the PE, okay, we need to know the PE. So for the PE, we can check it out here, or you can use SMARTRobie. Go over to finance. Gamuda is, go the overview, is 16 times. So 16 times divided by 20, then it is a good stock to be looking at under the peg of 1. Okay, so we use the earnings growth from here because we want to see that if what they say is true, that the market can go higher, well, it is, then Gamuda still has a lot of room. But from a technical standpoint, it may not be visible, right? I think it's already turned green pentagon, but this is a weekly chart. Let's look at the daily chart. I didn't have the overlay of the green pentagon, but those of you who have it, you can overlay it on it. So next one we have is IJM. Let's take a look at IJM. Now IJM has also moved up a lot, and again we're going to be looking back into bila dia start, January, okay, 30th here, okay, from here onwards to here. So not also 15% move. After all, the index moved up by 13%, the Bursa. So you can see here, it is so for the year 2023, IJM actually lost money. So when it lost money, it may rebound back to 11 cents here, 11 cents, 20 cents, 6 cents. That is the usual figure. So if we go back to 11 cents from 0.04, that's a huge amount, right? That's a huge amount. Right, so the growth potential is, that's a lot already. So definitely you look at the PE, right? Remember PE over PEG, right, is 26 times, right? So if the growth level is huge, let's say we're talking about 30, 40%, 50%, 26 divided by 50%, it's already below 1. So that seems that that's a pretty good one. But in terms of the chart, belum lagi, right? But we need to know that there has a potential for it to go back to at least this 12 cents, 13 cents, this level here, because it didn't make money in 2023. So right now we can see from September, it hits up to 292. You just add it up, Munila. This is 2023, which is up to September. So we have to see for the coming month. So this is not a difficult methodology where we do the estimation from here. Okay, next we have Sunway Construction. I think Sunway Construction is a better stocks, judging from the trend that you see. Let's look at Sunway Construction. So Sunway Construction here, switch to weekly chart. Sunway Construction is over here. So Sunway Construction, you notice, right? Before the COVID was around 11 cents yearly, 11 cents, 10 cents, and then COVID came. Then it came back to this old profitable back in 2020, 10 cents, 11 cents. So it's always been the 10 cents, 9 cents, 11 cents in here. So with the project that is coming up, it's gone back to its same level. But you look in terms of the price movement, going back to again December here to here, a 43% move for Sunway Con. So Sunwaycon has gone up way too much already. All right. So if it's gone up by too much, then we are expecting an even higher construction in here, because remember, stock price always move ahead before the earnings come. So if the earnings dwell by 20%, even it's gone up by 20%, 11.25, that will be 13 or 14 cent only. So if it's gone up by 43%, that's a big magnitude in here. Definitely we have to see a higher earnings to come at the year end, because this project will come in, so we don't know how well they fare in. But judging from that, it's better to wait for pullback, because a lot of the positive price movement already been priced in here. Ladies and gentlemen, just like I said before, a lot of this Sunway already and also what's the next one I'm going to be looking at is WCE Holding has already been priced in. So this is one way to look into the market. Okay, so WCE HB. Switching to a weekly chart here. So you can see WCE. This one, why gone? Never mind. I use this one over here. Apply. Right mouse click. Applies indicator. Okay. So you can see from WCE, interesting enough, 3 cent, 4 cent, 6 cent. Pre-COVID was around 3 cent or so. Right? 3 cent, 4 cent kind of level in here. And there was one big project that actually went higher, and they're up back to 3 cents. So during the hard times, the COVID, they went down, right? If other than that, right, before that, going back to far back here, yeah, they have been, averaging around here, WCE. So from that standpoint onward, you can see the quarterly earnings really doesn't reflect much on the prices drop. Of course, these prices drop down here was due to the dwindling of the revenue stream coming in. You can see it used to be 3 cent. So right now it's back to normal, which is the pre-COVID time. So you got back to pre-COVID time, you can see COVID time was around here, which already priced in whatever the stock price sudah masuk already. Very hard to gain from here. So the big gains, as I said before, was prior to the news. So just by looking on the earnings in here, you can see a lot of the earnings. So that only means there are some trading opportunity on the shorter term where you can use the green pentagon, or you can trade the intraday, but subsequently to make the kind of big returns, which is how much just now. We are talking about 43% for Sunwaycon. WCE going back to 30th of November, we use that as a time frame, because when the news came out, okay, here to here, that is a 27% move already. Okay. Now we will turn our attention now to construction, property sectors. Now property sector, there are even more than here. So what we are trying to do to see whether the stock is overpriced or underpriced based on what we have. So we have seen the property sectors, the construction sectors already price in many of the development in here, whether it is going to grow by 10%, 20% of the earnings. We would see that the stocks already been priced in here. So now we look at Massing, and so let's take a look at Massing now. So Massing finally turned up. So Massing again, 30th of October. So this is switching to a weekly chart. So Massing again impacted. Before COVID, 2018 was around 12 cent. And then, 2018 already kena. 2017 was doing well. 2015 was, so you can see year to year, Massing has been coming down a lot. You can see the earnings. And then recovery back in here. All right, they got 36%, launching a lot, 8 cents, 4 cents. That was the biggest move, because there was 2020 was the COVID. That's where I lost money. So going back to previously before COVID is stabilizing around 15 cents. So from 8 cents to 15 cents, that's about 100% move. So 100% move, right? To get back where it can go up, right? And let's take a look at the PE, whether the PE makes it 10 times, okay? So PE of 10 times, if you go by 10%, then it's okay. Okay, if minimum, it must go back by 10% now. So from here onwards, it does look like this stock, Marsing, is undervalued. Because why? It just need 10% only, right? Because the PE is 10 times, are not that expensive. So you need 10% growth from 2023 to 2024, which is possible, right? And then the stock will go. And if you look back on December, which is here, this stock hasn't run much yet. Okay, from here onwards, yeah, just take it around here, 2nd of January. Yeah? Since it's 30th of November, we take it on the December here to here. Oh, it's also 20%. Already 20% gain already from where we are in here. All right, so still reasonable compared to property, not so much. Let's take a look at another one that I like. Is a matrix concept. So you can see matrix concept been really super flying up. Lots of news. Before COVID, you can see they were in 21, also very sporadic. I can see 21 cent, 19 cent, right, 20. So the 15 cent, 19 cent. So right now, also back to the same level, 19 cent. So what does that tell you? Okay, if it's 19 cent, then it's back to 2029. Why the stock price are so high? Okay, let's take a look at the PE. The PE is 9 times, okay? So PE of 9 times means it's still reasonable. So it just for 2024, right, if we can gain 10%, then this is still a good stock, okay? So fundamentally, this is undervalued, but the stock price has run ahead already, run a lot. So you go back to since 30th of November. Okay, 30th of November, just getting there. Yeah, here to here, also a 21% move for it. But one thing good about this company, it pays a good, decent dividend, right? Go over to the dividend, which is 553%. But of course, matrix concept has got a lot of attention over time, being one of the performing property sectors, conservative. And I think in Seremban, they are aligned with the HCR project. That's why we're seeing a lot of this going up. So I hope you have seen using the PE PAC ratios, looking at the earnings and quarterly, and can make a projection going forward to see if the stock is underpriced or not, to see whether this is a growth stock. Now, if you ask me whether all these are growth stock, I don't think they are, because they are just sort of stagnant, and even before COVID, they haven't been really performing in here. If you look at the US market, which I've shared with a member, it's a different story altogether. So all the construction and property, they are not growth sector, they are just value. And because of the time in 2020 and 2021 during the COVID period, most of them fall back. And right now with the market reopening and projects coming in, they are just going back to pre-COVID time. Pre-COVID time in here. Definitely difficult to be in the construction and property sectors. So I hope you like what I've shared with you so far. All right, and there's some for you to gain some more in here. Now, right now, I'm going to be taking any stocks from the public in here, right, that you want me to take a look. Let me know. We'll use the same methodology to analyze them. I'll take 1 or 2. All right, I know James will probably have something, right? Usually you want me to look at also US market. That's fine. So any stocks you want me to look at? All right, let me just, okay, go to the next slide. So for summary, construction, there is still a lot of opportunity ahead. The question is, we don't know until the second part of the year how much the stock it is. But right now, I can see there's a lot of quick distribution to the top, right? Any stock that have a new high, take some profit, okay? Because smart money will be distributing, everything has already been priced in, and the expectation that the earnings, if it's not that high, correct, the stock price has went up more, what's going to happen? It's going to correct. You will have something very, very similar to the rubber glove stock that we've seen after 10 months or started low. So with that in mind, I want all of you, especially the VSA trader, to trade shorter term. Use the VSA 360 with the Pentagon Guider for the respective sector, whether you're trading construction, man. And also something that we are very proud of and I'd like to promote on our Wednesday talk here is our weekly training and video podcast that we do every Friday and every Monday for our members, strictly for our members, where they get some of the best stock big trade ideas you can see from here that we talk about, right? The PE, right? And today just a bit of glance in here, and you can see some of the stocks has since did perform pretty well and getting you quite early in the market stages in here, right? Some past result in here. Check out our special video that we done previously with our member, why our members outperform average trader. Now, if you are average trader has been struggling to do that well, find out and may join us for our premium membership, be like our members. And the last series 1 that we did, we are coming to our end of our series 2. I think next week James and Nora, we will end our series 2 and we probably have a winner too, right? Hopefully the winner will be maybe the same people, because these are the hard-working individual members who's around with us in here, and we will look at the result doing much better and becoming an improved trader and investor. All right, so for the post-Chinese New Year quote, a knowledge in investment, okay, pays the best interest. Now, if you have not invested your time in learning the game, right, now is the best time to learn. Join our premium membership in here, or you can follow us on the breakfast show every Monday. Not to forget our Friday VSA 360 show. And also those of you who are new and wanted to open up an account, our partnership with USmart definitely comes with cheap commission and good quality and service. And the platform is as advanced as many of the overseas platforms that you see. Make sure you use the NYVJPA and you will get 400 credit point. All right, so join our Telegram chat room. Feel free to share it in here for our free stock market in here, and we'll be open for any question or answers. And if you want me to analyze some of the stocks, let me know, pencil those in there. If not, I bid you a good evening, and I'll be back on Friday for our breakfast show. And I think that tonight, what I covered both last week on the rubber glove sector as well as the construction and property sector will give you some sort of idea that some of these stocks may be already priced in a lot of the big movement and started to distribute down. Then you will realize that using the power of VSA tools will get you pretty much in the hit. So thank you, good night, thank you for your time. Give me a thumbs up again in here. I do hope to see you next week. If not sooner, will be on Friday. And for our members, right, we will be doing our catch me on the Friday weekly video podcast. Thank you and good night.